Welcome to the Art of Relationships show. Greg is Detroit's love guru, a licensed professional counselor, a relationship and sex specialist. The Art of Relationships show will cover crucial elements in rebuilding the trust, emotional, and physical intimacy in your life. No more tit-for-tat arguments. Greg gets to the root of your challenges in a rapid, matter-of-fact format, plus applies compassion and humor. Join in discovering how to improve your romantic relationship and your own life. Yes, Greg also helps the single people out there. So listen, laugh, and climax. Greg is a licensed professional counselor, though to many, he's known as Detroit's love guru. The Art of Relationships show is copyrighted. No use of the show in part or full is permitted without expressed written consent. The Art of Relationships show is for mature audiences. Parental advisory is highly advised.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Relationships show. And this is going to be, let's face it, it's going to be a unique show because I have no idea what the heck I'm going to talk about. So I titled this a variety show, okay? Everybody thinks, I'm making it up. No, I have no idea. Talking about a half hour ago, talking to someone that shares a suite. And, man, what am I going to talk about today? So I thought about doing a variety show and almost did, let's face it, almost did not have a show because I just, new computer, trying to add the software up. And of course I didn't do a test run and had some echo issues. So let me know how everybody's doing. And I'd love to hear some feedback, how the audio is, how the sound is, the video quality and everything too. I'd love to hear some feedback, okay? So talking about today, going to be doing a variety show. And you know what? I'd love to hear your topics. I'd love to hear your conversations that you're throwing out there. And I'm going to be later on 9 o'clock tonight Eastern talking about mommy's, what is it? Mommy's happy hour. I think it's Mommy Needs a Laugh happy hour. There we go. At 9 p.m. tonight. And going to be talking, I'm sure, a lot of sex topics and everything else. And going on, the avenue. I want to know what's going on in your life and what is the most difficult aspect that you're having in your relationship. And a lot of people talk about, let's face it, communication, right? And we talk about, is it communication, is it perception, or how many people, I've talked about this recently, how many people actually are listening to one another versus, you hear what you want to hear. How many people take things out of context or out of perception, and then you start arguing, you start bashing, you start, ripping on each other instead of trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And are you actually learning from one another what is happening, what is going on, instead of, the judgment calls, instead of looking at the elements to where, you're fighting, you're bickering all over the place, okay? Another thing I want to talk about, are you actually having the relationship or marriage that you actually want? And how many people are leaving it up to their partner and, blaming their partner. I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. What are you doing to be a better partner? What are you doing to make your marriage, your relationship better? And also for the single people out there, I want to challenge you in looking at how are you going to improve so you have, let's face it, a better relationship down the road. That it's not, a right or wrong type of situation. It's going after, what works for you and what is healthy for you, but also looking at what are you going to improve about yourself, okay? Maybe you have a hard time hearing the truth or the perception from somebody else, so you get defensive. Maybe you need to improve that element. So, I need to maybe listen better. And what can I do to make this better? What can I do to improve? These are some areas too, talking about communication or perceptions, being able to, listen, being able to learn from one another is going to be a huge, huge plus versus attacking one another, and also trying to, grow and evolve to be the partner you want? The single people, like I said, can you improve? Maybe you have, let's face it, maybe you have sexual immaturity, or you're not that sexually confident. What would it take for you to become more confident? Now, everyone's going, I'm single, Greg. It would take practice and practice, but I don't have a partner. There are some things that you can do, self-pleasuring, right? Well, I'm sure I'm going to be talking about this tonight on the show. So we need to be able to look at what happens to these elements, okay? And Angela, I appreciate, I've turned into a rock. Nothing bothers me anymore. Do you think that's bad? And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I appreciate the question big time. And looking at, and I get clients all the time, okay? And it could be from trauma, it could be, rape survivors. It could be, when I used to work with kids, a lot of people go through a lot of crap in their life and they numb out. So that's what I'm going to ask you, Angela. Are you numbing out? Are you in a situation where you just, like you said, nothing bothers you anymore? It might not be, a bad thing, but I look at it, if you have no passion for anything, you don't get, upset about too much, that you don't get your feelings hurt, that you don't get, there's no compassion, there's no empathy for other people, then I would say, yeah, that's not a healthy situation. So I'd like to hear more on that to find out, is it, that you're numbing everything out, that you don't feel any compassion, no empathy. You don't feel, maybe surprised. You don't feel happy, that you don't, hit me up when you say nothing bothers you anymore. And I'm all about taking the power away from people to not affect us. They're not bashing us. They're not, ripping us apart. They're not, it's one of those things. It's your opinion, so be it. But can we learn from that opinion? Or are we always upset at everybody else, that we, take everything to heart instead of, being confident enough to say, nothing really bothers me. So I'd love to hear more, input from you. And can you be a little more specific in the comments below? And, I'll try to help you out. Me, there's not too much that bothers me. Being a Detroit Lions fan, we're used to being disappointed, right? No. Here in Metro Detroit, that type of thing. But even with me, it takes a lot for me to get upset, to get ticked off, okay? There might be times where, I'm tired, exhausted, that type of thing. And we know our tolerance might be affected. But there's really not a lot of thing that really, upsets me or anything. I might take it as a matter of fact in a situation. You know what? We'll say maybe if someone doesn't love us the way we want, are we brokenhearted? Do we emotionally bleed all over the place? Or do you look at it that, I'm confident enough to, be loved the way I want to be loved? I get it. Nothing's perfect. That type of thing. Is it a confidence thing that nothing bothers you, or that you're numb? And that's where I want to look at. And a lot of people that go through a lot of crap, nothing bothers them because they numb everything out. That's not healthy, okay? Because, if nothing bothers you, are you able to, be happy? Are you able to hurt? Are you able, I look at, those are human emotions, right? We feel sad, we feel hurt. Those are the things that make us human. We can be excited, we can be passionate about something, and rah and cheer and all those aspects. We can feel tired, we can feel exhausted. So I'm all about people going through and feeling the human emotions, if you will. And I used to, when I was teaching college classes, I would bring this up too, that feeling sad, feeling hurt, we don't want it, but it's part of being human. And do we embrace our feelings? Do we embrace, the expression of our feelings, which my view is our emotions? Or, some people go through, like I said, a lot of stuff, nothing bothers them, they're just numbed right out. It's not about, we get to pick and choose what bothers us. Maybe that would be a better topic versus, and, how we allow others to bother us. And there's some people that grow up in very horrific situations, very horrific lives, as kids and everything. And they still it's still bothered. They're still passionate about and still consumed or obsessed, if you will, about having their parent that treated them like crap, abused them sexually, physically, and they still want their parents' approval, their love, whatever. Now, that's where I want to take that power away from that parent in that toxic situation. And you know what? Where you don't be bothered by that anymore. I don't want others to have power over you. We get to pick and choose, maybe what bothers us, what doesn't bother us. And, I'm all about being self-reflective. You know what? Should I really be bothered by that? And some people, right, if they don't have a relationship, say, with a family member because it's toxic, like I said, they're abusive, that type of situation. And some people will look at you and say, oh, you should feel shameful. You should feel guilty. I'm like, why? Because they're a relative, but they're toxic. They treat you like crap. They abuse you your whole life. You get me? So that's where I look at as, what bothers you should be our choice. Maybe nobody else's. But again, if you are numb and you don't feel really any enjoyment in life, you don't feel passion, you don't feel, hurt, you have a best friend or a loved one that passed away and you're like, I'm not bothered by it. Then I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe something's going on, that you're numbing everything out from past hurt, past trauma, and maybe to talk to somebody and look at those elements, okay? So that's, where I would go with that. And when nothing bothers you, that's where I'm going in and exploring a lot more of that as far as what is happening and trying to get a bigger picture versus, nothing bothers me. I need more to go on with that. And it's a great question, okay? So when you mention about, someone turning into a rock, I want to know what's happening. I want to know if you're enjoying life, if you're, able to laugh and, be playful and be passionate about certain things. Or some people, where nothing bothers you, it could be a sign of, not get all clinical, depression too, where people just numb it out and they don't feel anything. They don't feel maybe some bad things, hurtful things in life, but they also have no enjoyment and they're just blah. Okay, and we all know, maybe we don't all know, that there are different, levels of that depression too, mild, moderate, severe type aspect where, you might have had a relative, maybe, ourselves at one time had a hard time getting out of bed, getting into a situation to where we're so depressed, man, we can't even get our butts out of bed. So, I look at those type of aspects and I want to explore more. And there's a lot of people that would give a blanket statement, oh, nothing bothers me. Nope, that's not bad. You need to look at how it affects you and are you bothered by that? And, go back after, explore it. Do you enjoy life at all? Do you laugh at maybe a funny movie? Do you, you sing your favorite song? You're getting some enjoyment, but you also, I also look at, we might feel sad, that type of aspect. Because let's face it, if we feel happy, someone could take that away from us, or it could be ripped away from us, right? With heartbreak, getting cheated on, divorce, a breakup, that type of thing, or be scared to death to go into a relationship. I don't care, whatever. So you don't feel anything. And you could also, let's face it, you could also sacrifice, being happy or fulfilled in life if we numb everything out where nothing bothers us. So hopefully that helped. And it'll give you, definitely a different perspective to help you out and go from there, okay? Now, I'm going to cut this off. Like I said, I've had some technical difficulties I want to fix with the show. Hopefully everybody can hear and the video's clear and everything. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll have all the tech issues all taken care of later. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure... you know what? Check out my website, theartofrelationships.org, and you can follow me. Here we go, the show right here. I appreciate everybody voting their input on the start scene right here. The intro to the show is right here. Please, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now Twitch. So you can follow me all over the place. The video, the shows are, the recordings are going to be all over the place in audio format. And of course, on video format will be, of course, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And there's a bunch, hundreds of shows I've done over the years. They're there. They're free. Check them out, and you can go ahead and help yourself under my video on my main page right here or on my public figure page, facebook.com/Detroit's Love Guru. Check them out. I appreciate everybody paying attention for your support. Peace and love to everybody out there. Take care.